Welcome everybody back to Boosted Motion, guys, and today we're going to talk about why I keep going through axles and try to figure this out. If you've been rocking with me for this long, new or old subscriber, always hit the like button. You guys don't know how much that helps my channel out. I give you guys a lot of information. Hit the like, comment, subscribe below, but anyways, let's jump into it. If you've seen my last couple of videos for the last few months, for about 3 to 4 months now, I've been going through OEM and aftermarket axles. I've been spending about 115 from an aftermarket company to about 150 buying an OEM used one. And the same thing keeps happening. And there's about 3 other people on the market right now in the Q50 spectrum that keep running into these issues. Majority of them, all 4 of them, I believe, 3 or 4 of them, all either had a lot of amount of power, like pretty much E85 or E30 tuned, or they're severely low and also tuning fast. So it seemed like it's really attributed to power and or camber angle or axle angle. Now moving forward from that, I want to show you guys something I found in my few research. So let's just jump right into that part. Alright guys, so you're looking at now a OEM blown, pretty much broken axle off my passenger side. This is my second one. And this one's my third one, and that's a new passenger axle from a company called Track Motor. This will be my 3rd replacement, but this is going to be a little different video talking about it. Now, this is the tripod I keep talking about, and or the axle shaft with the tripod. This tripod goes into this inner joint. This one goes into the differential. This goes into the spindle, and this is the length of it. Now, this is a plunger style axle. This is pretty much what keeps happening to me. I'm gonna break it down very simple as this. Because my car is lowered, right? It goes on this angle. It starts to sit like this when you lower your car. Now also when it sits like that and you add camber arms, it pulls that axle out a little bit more. Now when you make turns, this part turns back and forth. But also the axle shaft itself pulls in and out too. Because this is basically like a plunger, and I know it's kind of funny with this happening in and out like this, ha ha. But what's happening with my car is on turns, usually my left-handed turn, this part starts turning like this because you have to turn left. But also, when I turn left and I'm also on an angle, it starts to slightly pull this out. Now, a lot of you guys who are lowered, this plunger style, if you take a look, this tripod starts coming out, and whenever mine pops out, it literally sits like this on the side of it. So whenever I keep losing my axle, it sits on the side of this. Now, some of you guys are going to say, well, you're making too much power. Well, if I'm making too much power, this should be cracked or broken. What's happening is it's coming right out. That's what's happening. There's no bracket or anything here. This can easily go in and out with no problem because it's a plunger style axle. The only thing we have above this is a boot like this. There's no bracket to keep this in, okay? So what's happening is, I'm gonna just try to do it slightly on video for you guys, is my car is on a centered angle and on turns because I don't have enough length, and maybe I'm putting too much power when I'm turning, but even then, because it's right here, because it's not here, when you're stock height, it's a lot more in. It's a lot more in. But when you lower your car, you're putting length and pulling it more out. So on turns, with the turning and twisting, boom, pops out, and now you destroy the axle fork. Now there are specific lengths to these. The OEM, for the passenger side front for 3.0T, they use 3.5 hybrid axles and or 3.0 axles. And the 3.7 axles can be interchangeable with it, but guess what? The 3.7 axles are actually shorter by 1/4 of an inch. Now, my problem is not a power problem. My problem to me is a length problem. So what axle is this you guys are looking at? Because you're like, what is this? You talking about this axle? Well, this axle is also off a M37 M56. Now, why do I have this in front of me? Why do you guys should even care about this? Reason being is this mating surface, inner joint, and this that's outer joint, and this is inner joint, are the same design, same amount of spleens and everything as the 3.0T and the 3.7. Why is that important? Because if it's interchangeable, that means that this part and this part can bolt right up to the spindle and the differential. But the biggest main difference about this is this part. this part is called, I call it the axle shaft and or fork, or whatever you call it, or tripod. And it's actually longer. So this axle is about 3/4 of an inch longer than the OEM axle. Yes, this is where we actually talk about where inches count. Now, if I'm putting up this video, that means it worked. So definitely you guys are going to see a lot of everything a little delayed, because I'm going to make sure I get this right so I don't have to look stupid on video again, even if I blow this one too. Still sucks. But moving forward, I'm also going to purchase an axle spacer, pretty much a washer that's about the same inner diameter as this, and I'm going to place it right here. Axle spacers are something that a lot of people have been using for a while, but because of my issue that I'm having because I'm lowered, this is going to allow this axle itself to push more inside that plunger. So as a quick example, right, let's say it's right now it's not sitting like this inside of there. It's actually sitting a lot more in. But let's say when you add an axle spacer, it'll push this in a bit more, another 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch. So this actually gives me more room so that this doesn't pop out during turns. So my issue to me is honestly not a power issue. It is an issue of axle length, because I'm lowered and because I'm turning, or whatever the case, the geometry or the amount of torque that's going to the car that twists it just twists the diff and makes this pop out a little bit more. So we're not going to have this issue any freaking more, because I'm tired of it. You guys are tired of it. And I really want this to work. I did my research. I researched. And this is the one thing that I tried. I kept on replacing with OEM or aftermarket axles this whole time with the same length. And the same thing kept on happening. And if you keep doing something over and over, it's insanity. So you know what? Try something different. Okay? So small recap. I'm going to get a 1/4 inch spacer for here. And this is about 3/4 of an inch longer from right. This shaft is 33/4 of an inch longer. So that should give me about a good inch more in this inner joint. And hopefully, we won't have these problems anymore. So let me close it out. Alright guys, so that is it. That is all. If you see this video up, most likely I'm putting up regardless, because I'm going through these trials and tribulations and I'm trying to get it right. If you guys been rocking with me this long, you know this was an expensive modification. I already spent $800 on engine mounts. Another, I would say, I bought at least 5-6 axles at this point, and they were ranging between $115 to $150 per axle. So I am invested into just axle issues way too much over my head. This amount of money could have been spent on other car parts. I really wish that this was taken care of a long time ago, but we're here again. We're here again and here again. And also, this may be good for some of you guys that are lowered on coilovers or drop springs, that if you do ever run into this issue, or whatever the case might be, you can purchase a remanufactured M56 or M37 axle, and you won't have to run into axle issues again, pretty much. So otherwise than that, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you want to support the channel, check out my merch below, but below the video. And also, if you want to contact me at Boost Motion IG and Facebook, and Boost Motion on gmail.com. You guys have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Thank you guys. You have a good day.